Good morning, friends and family. Um, I have decided to record this video diary, hoping that I'll be able to help someone, or maybe many someones with information you may not know um, about coronavirus. I am COVID positive, diagnosed positively yesterday. My first day of symptoms was Monday. Um, of this week at 4 a.m. So let me see, this would be, I guess, my third full day of quarantine and symptoms. Just some things that may not be common knowledge. When I first noticed that well, first of all, I had been informed that I had had positive contact within my household. I have a family member that's a healthcare worker that was exposed at work um, and tested positive on Monday. Um, I was informed about that on the preceding Friday, so a few days before they tested positive. Um, by the time they had the positive result on Monday morning, I had already started having symptoms at 4 a.m. So, my first symptom was feeling congested here, like there was mucus stuck. And because I knew I had already had positive potential exposure, I went ahead and I took Mucinex DM. You don't have to have the name brand. Some things are really good to just have on hand in case. Prepare as if someone in your home is going to get COVID. We were very, very careful, but if you go to work and you're exposed, then your household is exposed. So I started taking Mucinex DM every 12 hours to combat congestion. The DM also controls the cough that is commonly associated with being positive for COVID. And I just kept that going every 12 hours and drink lots of water. You have to have the fluids behind it to help. It's an expectorant to help get everything out, the congestion out of your body. So, pumping lots of water and fluids. I also started that morning when I got up drinking, like you prepare tea, but no tea bag. So, fresh squeezed lemons in hot boiled water and honey and drinking that. And that has helped. I can tell you I've experienced very little cough because of that, perhaps, or maybe it's just because of the way my body is handling it. The other thing I noticed is that at 8 o'clock that same morning on Monday, I started feeling pain in my shoulder and neck. And I first said, oh, I must have slept really badly. But by 10 o'clock a.m., it was obvious that that was not from sleeping badly, that I was experiencing that because I um, was having severe body aches. And so at that point, I started taking Tylenol. And I took the Tylenol pretty much every 4 hours. The first day, maybe second day also, I noticed that if I got all the way out to the 4 hours, I was back in pain again, so like kind of severe pain. So I started kind of taking the Tylenol like at 3 hours and 45 minutes, more or less, just not letting it stretch all the way to that 4 hour point and having to wait for it to set back in my system. I also started to notice that I was getting some head congestion. So, ladies, if you have Midol at home, I will tell you Midol has acetaminophen in it, the active drug that's in Tylenol, but it also has an antihistamine in it, and it definitely helped with the head and nasal pressure I was feeling and congestion. So, I didn't feel that anymore. So, I started taking that every 4 hours. Um, at the first notification that we were probably exposed, my doctor had us increase vitamins that we were already taking. So we've been taking black elderberry um, way before COVID ever came about. So it's not new in my house, but it has vitamin C and zinc in it. However, at the point of exposure risk, the doctor had us move our vitamin D intake up because we were also taking vitamin D supplements. A large percentage of COVID positive patients are vitamin D deficient. which may explain why people of color are experiencing such bad effects from the disease, because most melanated people are vitamin D deficient. So I have we're doing 5,000 milligrams a day of vitamin D, 3,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C, and 200 milligrams a day of zinc. Um, Please make sure that you eat before you take zinc. It will make you nauseous most normally for most people if you try to do it on an empty stomach. So that's not a good idea. Um, I will tell you that doing those things, I had mitigated most symptoms. I wasn't really feeling a lot unless I was unmedicated um, until yesterday. Yesterday morning, Wednesday, I woke up and I noticed before I even got out of bed that I was feeling pretty badly. My feet were tingling, hands were tingling, my face was tingling. The only way I know how to describe that is if you've ever watched Star Trek and they get in that teleporter thing, you see their bodies turn into particles and then they disappear. That's what it feels like. I've had that feeling before, so I knew that I was probably getting ready to faint. So I did have to be rushed to the doctor yesterday, not the hospital, to the doctor. You primarily want to stay out of the hospital unless you have shortness of breath or unless you talk to your doctor and the doctor tells you to go there. You don't want to go to the hospital. So went to the doctor's office and everything. My oxygen saturation levels were at 99%, so that was not the cause. Fortunately, I have some good deal of medical knowledge and training. So I was in bed yesterday after I got back from the doctor and I started feeling that tingling again. And it occurred to me that fainting often happens to regulate low blood pressure, regardless of the cause of the low blood pressure. And so I started thinking of how to increase that blood pressure. And one thing, we know normal saline. While I'm at home, I can't administer IV, but I was able to do salt water. So I'm not sure if I had like overdone it on the water intake, or I maybe the low blood pressure is just part of being sick with this virus. That part I can't tell you. What I can tell you is as I started to do the intake of the salt and the water, I started to feel better. We did do a pickup order at the grocery store of Gatorade and some other stuff. No, we didn't go in the grocery store exposing other people. It's just a pickup order. So you pull in, pop the trunk, they put the groceries in the trunk, and you come back home. Um, and so I have Gatorade, but Gatorade has a lot of sugar in it. So I would prefer not to have the energy drink if it's not necessary. Um, so a few things that we have here at the house, you may want to keep some unopened Gatorade around or Pedialyte. Um, the large box of Mucinex DM, I don't have it next to me. These are pretty big pills. You don't have to be able to swallow a big pill, but this is a generic. It's not, the expensive Mucinex brand. It is the exact same drug. This is Sam's Club brand. So I have a box that came with like 4 sheets, the same size as that sheet, um, or maybe more than 4 sheets, enough, to get you through. That's in our COVID package here at home. We've got soup. You might want to make sure you have that. My appetite has been variable. Monday really didn't feel like eating at all. Tuesday was ravenous. I decided, oh, I want scrambled eggs, and I had made homemade baked apples over the weekend, so I had that for breakfast, and then I had a salad for dinner. A grilled chicken salad. So I ate really well on Tuesday, and then yesterday took me pretty much all day just to get through what little food I did have when I got back from the doctor. And last night I ate bacon intentionally, just to the salt content. Probably not a good idea, so don't listen to that. But to raise the blood pressure and just have a little something on my stomach because of the meds I'm taking. My doctor did put me on a Z-Pack, and I am on dexamethasone steroid to help with lung function. Um, that's pretty much all I've got. I will put this out there. There is a antibody infusion that people who have certain high risk criteria that they meet can have. I am not eligible. I don't have enough risk factors. My BMI is not high enough, which is good. Not as uh, heavy on the weight as they would need you to be to qualify. I don't have a lot of pre-existing conditions. I do have a genetic clotting disorder, blood clotting disorder. My doctor did suggest that anybody who's not like me, who's already on blood thinners, take aspirin every day. Clotting seems to be a thing with this virus. My hematologist has told me that back when the pandemic first started, that clotting was a thing. And my PCP also mentioned it. Like I said, I take Eliquis twice a day as it is. So aspirin would be double dipping on a blood thinner for me. So none of that. But for those who don't take it, you might want to ask your doctor about it. Um, you know, increasing vitamin intake and taking aspirin is not something I'm recommending you do if you get sick without calling your doctor. But I'm giving you things you can ask your doctor about. They will confirm with you whether or not those things are safe for you to do or recommended. These are just nice things to have in the house. We also have Vicks, um, the old fashioned stuff that people used to put on the chest and everything, but it opens up congestion. I haven't had to use it because, like I said, the Mucinex DM has been doing a really, really good job with me. As you can hear, I probably don't sound very congested. I have been a little fatigued today, but that's probably behind the total bottom out experience I had yesterday. I think as long as I make sure my electrolytes stay in balance, I'm probably going to be okay. Can't account for that. Like I said, this is only full day 3. Um, Today is Thursday, so full day 3, um, going into 4th day of symptoms. So I cannot say what the rest of this week will be like and all of next week. I'm not out of quarantine until February 8th. But, so far these things are helping me maintain, and I'm at home. One thing I would suggest is if you, while you are well, if you're not on a vitamin D supplement and you've had you can check with your doctor and make sure that it's not contraindicated for you. Um, that's something you probably want to do for yourself. Whatever you can do to boost your immune system, your natural vitamin C intake, if you can get it in through enough foods, veggies and fruits are important. I can tell you since I've been sick, those are the things I've wanted. When I do want to eat, I've wanted more vegetables and more fruits. And I know for me, usually when I do that, my body is telling me what I need. So I go with it. I'll be, this was a really lengthy video because I'm giving you um, all the days of history leading up till today. But I recognize through talking to a few friends that a lot of people are not aware of some of the stuff they can do to help with the virus and things they might want to have in the house in case they get sick. And that way you're not having to send people out or go out to get things. So I will record a video every day until I am COVID negative, as long as I'm able to sit up and speak to you in hopes that it will help somebody. All right. I'm going to sign off for today. Everybody be well. Love you all.